In the Bible, the book of Exodus, when the Israelites, right? Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt and they wandered, throughout the journey through the deserts for about 40 years. And little by little, a portion of them started to fall out because initially they were about the mission, and that's to return to Israel. And throughout the journey, some of them fell out, and a huge chunk of them, it got to a point where they got bored of the mission. They started to, betray the mission. Some of them, they wanted to go back to Egypt, to being slaves, because they said to themselves, hey, at least while we were enslaved in Egypt, at least we were taken care of. It's easier, right? Now, very few, they actually stood with Moses. They continued the mission up until they reached the promised land. But the majority of them, they fell by the wayside. They fell short of God's grace. They had doubts. They relapsed. They betrayed the mission. They aborted the mission. And that's exactly what's happening with our Red Pill Manosphere audience, the men in our space. You see, it's true what they say. The future is female. Since the rising of this new female content creator, JustPearlyThings, it's how can I say this? Since the rise of this new content creator, JustPearlyThings, it's become very clear that the men in the space are relapsing. They are aborting the mission. They're losing focus of the mission. JustPearlyThings is just like that woman in the red dress from the movie The Matrix. Oh yes, JustPearlyThings is actually the woman in the red dress, metaphorically speaking. Well, I have a question for you guys. What makes you think that the ops, the Agent Smiths of this Matrix, what makes you think that the ops, the Agent Smiths of this Matrix, is not using JustPearlyThings as a dangled carrot so that a lot of you NPCs are like, tits and ass, and then you just float towards her, giving her all sorts of subscriptions and donations and support and boosting the channel up? What makes you think that maybe that's what the Agent Smiths want? Because tell me, what is it that's so special that JustPearlyThings says that hasn't already been regurgitated and recycled by plenty of the men on this space, by the men in the space? Tell me, what is it that you're getting from JustPearlyThings that you're not getting from Mumia Obsidian Ali, Donovan Sharp, Rollo Tomasi, Angry Man, LAR Movement? What is it that you're getting from JustPearlyThings that you're not getting from the men in the space? What? I'll tell you what. A pair of lovely, toned legs, pretty faces, tits, and ass. That's what you're getting. You know why? Because that's all you care for. That's all you care about. That's the biggest thing that this men in the space care about in the first place. Mesmerized by this female that supposedly knows the plight of men. Oh wow, female that understands the plight of men. Oh, floating over subscriptions, donations. Just like what do they call it? The Mirage. What do they call those mermaids? You know when back in the 17th century, a ship of pirates and sailors, right? They would sail towards a mysterious island full of fog and mist, and then they would see angels dancing in a seductive manner, right? Dancing in a seductive manner, drawing the sailors in, only for the ship to collide on an iceberg. And then the whole ship collides, and then the mermaids, they turn into, they appeared as lovely, beautiful, attractive mermaids, but they're actually monsters. And then they got eaten up by the monsters and sharks and crocodiles, whatever. That's exactly what's happening with this the growth of JustPearlyThings. You men in this space have lost sight of the mission. You're relapsing. You're just like the Israelites when they wanted to go back to Egypt because it's more comfortable being a slave in Egypt as opposed to sticking to the mission and until you reach the promised land. My goodness, it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Now, that particular rant being, keep that thought in mind. I, MrShowTym, have come up with a new thought. Perhaps some of us need to start being a little bit more tyrannical and imperialist when it comes to telling our audiences what to think. Because it used to be a point where, hey, listen, here's a red pill, either take it or leave it and do whatever you want. But MrShowTym has seen that that no longer works. The Manosphere is degrading with each passing day. You know why? Some of our most loyal content creators have left the space. Angry Man has left the space, no longer wants to be associated with the red pill. Steve the Dean Williams will left the space. Mr. Locario, Miles Cunningham, Richard Cooper, calling the Manosphere the Mano Swamp. Now, at first, I would supposedly be taken back by that statement. But considering how things are, the current climate of the Manosphere, Andrew Tate being arrested, the image and the reputation of the Manosphere being damaged from a PR standpoint and from an internal standpoint, I don't blame these content creators for wanting to leave. Because the Manosphere is severely damaged. Ladies and gentlemen, we are wounded. However, some of us really, really do not want to leave the space. Regardless of the bad shape it is currently, I acknowledge that. The Manosphere is in severe turmoil. We're wounded. The dating coaches, they're silent. PUAs, pickup artists, MGTOW, articles coming up and say, oh, look, and you get certain men apologizing for approaching women. Oh, I should really take therapy classes and anger management classes to suppress my masculinity because approaching these females, it's sort of bad. I should suppress my instincts to be attractive. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we are in trouble. Drastic changes call for drastic measures. I'm MrShowTym, aka the Great ShowTym. I am calling for Manosphere content creators who are still about the mission to be a little bit more tyrannical and imperialist and telling the audience, hey, listen, don't do that. Don't freaking lose focus and floating over and subscribing to JustPearlyThings just because you are attracted to tits and ass. That's how they get you. That's the typical proverbial mousetrap. What makes you think the NWO isn't using JustPearlyThings as again, the dangler of the carrot? Oh look, a female that oh look, Manosphere audiences, look men, look, a female that understands your plight, come support her. And then once you busy, and then as soon as a lot of you, 1.1 million of you are busy circulating, bang, trap, they got you. Has that ever crossed your mind that maybe this is a typical bear trap or mouse trap? What is it that Pearly Things is doing so special that you can't get from Fresh and Fit, Donovan Sharp, basically the men in the space, Aaron Clary? What? One simple thing. Tits and ass. But anyway, that's my little rant for now. I'll stay tuned for further videos. I will... wow. Guys, don't lose focus. Right? Stay tuned for further videos. And listen, if this continues in this direction, whatever it is that we're fighting for in this space isn't going to be worth fighting for. It's going to come to a point where the Manosphere is going to need a red pill from the red pill. This is going to come to a point where this space is going to be the extended version of the Matrix. And us red pillers are going to have to escape the red pill, aka Zion. I mean, if you escape Zion, where else can you go? There's no other place but Zion. And this is why I don't want to give up on the space. This is it. The Manosphere is the last line of defense for masculinity, the nuclear family, traditional conservative values. If this space implodes, it is a wrap. Stay with the Manosphere. Stay on course. Be about it. Continue the mission, gentlemen. Don't relapse. Support the male content creators of the space. Stick with the men. And don't lose focus by relapsing and falling for, the woman in a red dress. Don't lose sight of the mission. Continue the mission, okay? That's all I have to say for now. Thanks for watching, Choose. Remember what I said. There's no way I'm gonna tell you to unsubscribe from JustPearlyThings. That's a lost cause. But I am gonna tell you to don't lose sight of don't lose focus of the mission.